Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Howdy, 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 and welcome to the Apex Racing Academy Formula 3 VRS Super Series here at Autodromo Enzo di Dino Ferrari. I'm Austin Knight. I'm joined by Sebastian Boscher Williams with John Robertson in the production booth, and you're here live watching Apex Racing TV for round 6 of the F3 season. Sebastian, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. It's going to be a great race. Imola, of course, we've all been glued to our screens watching Imola in the Formula 1. So, yes, it's always good to see some Formula 3 cars out and about. And let's hope it's a better race than the sprint race, the Formula 3 one earlier. Although I didn't watch it, so no spoilers, please.
Oh, okay. What you said really summed it up.
Oh, well, I'm looking, yeah, no spoilers, but yeah, F3 cars at Imola, of course, a little bit drier than the Formula 1 drivers experienced yesterday, but yeah, all good here, and I just love this opening chicane of Tamburello. It's so quick, it's going to be such a hotbed of action tonight. It's going to be such a great race.
It really is. The opening two chicanes, Tamburello and Villeneuve, home to a lot of great opening lap action. If you get a great run, you can hold it around the outside like Max Verstappen has done the last time we've came here in Formula 1. Not talking about the sprint race today. And you can also defend it down the inside. And we've seen defenses down the inside work. Attacks on the around the outside can work here as well because it's a double back chicane and it's followed back by another one. And also, this track is home to some famously difficult corners, like the difficult and infamous Aqua Mineral, as we're seeing Kaibach go through there. That double right-hand corner heading downhill. If you brake too early, you lose all the speed. If you brake too late, you're going to be on a date with the wall. And certainly that exit. If you get onto the power and you're on that curve, oh, you're going to go for a spin, and it's not going to be a good type of spin. And then the Alto Chicane and the difficult downhill Riviazza corners. Braking for this is going to be a test for a few of these drivers because they're side by side. You want to go late, but not too late, or else you're going to find yourself in that kitty litter.
You certainly are. Yes, it's last of the late breakers, but you'll easily find yourself in the gravel trap on exit. And yes, we've seen a lot of action in the Formula 1 at Aqua Minerale, and lots of drivers ending up in the wall. I think these drivers will have to be a little bit wary of that corner. The Variante Alta as well. You can take so much curb, or at least you used to be able to in iRacing, but now you get quite a severe off-track and slow down penalty. So we might see some drivers cutting that chicane. And
And
floor damage as well. That's a really
but
good point.
I do remember back in the day where you could take that like a rallycross jump. John Robertson would have been fantastic like that. He's nodding his head at the production booth. He's agreeing with me.
No, certainly. I remember doing GT3s around here, and it felt like I was flying a plane for half the lap. It was pretty incredible. So yeah, watch out for drivers making a mistake and pulling off to the sort of the inside line if they have got a slow down penalty. But we see everybody out and about. Well, not everybody actually. About half the field are out qualifying. Some are still in the pits. We do, however, have a few pit lane starters for you for the first race tonight, and that is Alistair Hay, Arroyo, Lasse Sorensen, and Philip Russell. So drivers will not be out on track to compete in qualifying, as they
And a
are
few
serving
drivers
penalties.
serving qualifying bans. Now, they can't qualify, but they're allowed to start from the grid. The severe license points drivers with those infractions will be started from the pit lane. So it's a tiered system here. It's kind of like, oh, you broke Parker Ferme, just don't qualify, but you can start the race from there. And then other drivers who have a penalty, were some serious bad actors, they're going to be started for the pit lane. And in the heats, we saw in the heats how aggressive this can be. Now, it's not going to be like Alton Park, where it's a tight race, and qualifying is going to be very important here. This is going to be about how well you're overtaking, because Imola, this track in Formula 3 cars is just so fun to drive, and it's so fun to race. You got that long front straight heading into Tamburello. That's going to be the most popular opportunity to try for an overtake, but also in this sector right now, heading into Aqua Mineral, off the exit right there, if you get a good run, the car in front of you gets a bad run, you can get a good run heading into Alta and take a cheeky look down the inside. Now, it's going to be a little bit of squeeze, but look at that. Martinson proving me right there. If you push it too hard in, you're going to get a bad exit right there. Alta can take a look down the inside. That's going to be a big look. And then Riviazza corner, like we were saying. But Riviazza, when you're driving these Formula 3 cars, it's very deceptive. You're like, oh, I could brake later than that. It's not that simple.
It's only when you get to about 20 meters away from the corner do you realize that no, you in fact couldn't brake later. And yeah, you're going to be having a very good look at the wall, because you're going to be very much inside it. Such a great track, Imola. It is the driver's favorite. Sam Hermer absolutely setting the pace at the moment. A woman at 35.745 is your fastest lap time so far. And we're on board with the 115 car of Matthias Martinsen into the braking zone for Tamburello, but
that's a lockup.
he's trying the old Tamburello corner, of course, changed after a fairly infamous accident back in the day. But
Accidents,
you're very right. Very dangerous track, Imola, and still it's one of my favourite tracks to both watch and drive. Some really, really tricky corners out there. And yes, Martinson now coming back out after that lockup into Tamburello, trying his luck again. Who is out there improving? Cheney in the number 227 car is on a good lap so far. We spoke to him, didn't we, at the end of last?
Chaney hasn't set a lap yet. Josh Lane is improving on his time, but Kamali Chaney, but yeah, we were talking with him last time. That's right. We brought him into the booth in his first finals appearance, actually, getting through at Alton Park, and he was over the moon happy about that. And,
he was.
It was really good to see Chani get an amazing result, get into the finals, and that was his goal. And he was so happy about that.
He was. It was infectious how happy he was about getting into the finals. He was such a pleasure to talk to, and hopefully we'll be talking to him at the end of today. Yeah, matching his record and getting in to the finals again. And he's had a good lap there.
And I gotta say, he's not a slow driver. He's not a slow driver. He's putting in the times that I usually do. But it just happens to be that the rest of this field in this series is just so fast. We got the top Formula 3 drivers in here, and I know how I'm saying this. I'm just making excuses on how slow that I am a Formula 3 car. I'm not saying that.
No,
but it sounds like that.
This field is just so incredibly fast.
But yeah, these guys are just insanely fast.
Yeah. Oh, they completely are. I mean, Sam Hermer, Gavin Petty, Larson. I mean, these are names that I've personally commentated on them because they do many different. Is that we see
Lane!
Lane doing his best Formula One impression, getting onto that white line, keeping it out of the wall.
It's
And
not
of
wet.
course, in iRacing, yeah, you don't have to worry about getting stuck in the gravel, although that's certainly not how you want to treat your tyres.
Yeah, he's doing a little bit of landscaping, but he's being very nice. He's probably looking at his relative saying, okay, I got a good gap right here. I shouldn't be pulling in front of anybody heading into Alta. And I'll just wait for that moment. And he kept it going. So, Lane, very good.
Was indeed, yeah, just having a few technical issues, but everything's looking good for Josh Lane. Christian Glamsetter is your pole position sitter, 15th overall, doing a great job there. Jack Reeve in second. Reeve very, very quick in the practice session as Sam Hermer goes to the top of the timing stands once again with a 1 minute 35.650. Just a fraction over a tenth quicker than Larson in second, with Schneibel in third. He'll be looking to continue on from his race at Alton. He did a great job there. And it's such a different track, isn't it, to Alton Park here? It's really testing the driver's adaptability.
Yeah, a few of these drivers very happy with the track. Few of them not so happy with it. I know a few drivers have done a lap, and then after they've done that lap, they just stopped.
Yeah.
And that's either to just deal with traffic on the circuit or just do their own thing. As we're currently looking at Kitty Larson.
Sort of getting involved in traffic at the moment. I think finding teammates on track in the most unhelpful of places. You really don't want to be following a car into Ravazza. I mean, we've been talking all through the broadcast so far about how difficult that braking zone is, and you really don't need to make it more difficult by having some dirty air off a car ahead of you, or just not being able to sight your braking zone as much as you'd like. This track is just full of corners where you can easily lose a lot of time, but it's really hard to gain lap time. As watching some of the cars go through the Tamburello chicane.
And you said that you were having technical issues. You were wondering where half the field is during qualifying. This grid is so big, we tricked the server to putting in 2 groups in qualifying. So half the grid, if you're wondering where they were on track and why they weren't showing up, they were just in a different group compared to where we are. But now that we are in the heats, everybody's going to be on the same track. And here is your race grid for heat number 1 after that qualifying session. And it will be the odd number. Samuel Hermer will be starting up on pole position with Leonard Schnabel in second place. Matthias Martinson, Joshua Alexari, Max Christenbachen, Alexander Scarrett, Timo Braun, Timo Braun right behind them. They're followed by Mike Thurman, Jack Reeve, Justin Negretti, Edward Pop, Stefan Deck, Kambali Chiani, Jose Arroyo, Alistair Hay will be starting from the pit lane. Rickard Bobber, Andreas Helgard, and Dorian Arroyo will be starting from the pit lane right now. As we are just sorting out some stuff in the background. You're here listening to Apex Racing TV Radio Edition. We should probably work on that name, but we are here looking at Imola. Drivers are on the grid with about 40 seconds left here for everybody to get ready to rock and roll. And I should probably take a sip of water because I'm going to have to do some amazing play-by-play.
You are indeed. So, yes, we've got Sam Hermer, Lennart Schnabel, and Matthias Martinson are your top 3, and they're going to be the ones to watch or listen to in this race. The main protagonist of this race 1, for sure, Hermer has been absolutely rapid in qualifying, and he's going to be one to watch. Also, Jack Reeve is your highest AM driver. He starts 9th overall, and this is going to be one race to certainly watch.
And here we go. The 5 red lights are coming on, and it's time to go racing here at Imola as we are green, green, green. It's a good start by Matthias Martinson. We got a bad start, and Jose Arzari and Schnabel, they both got checked up right there as they race into Tamburello side by side around the outside. Matthias Martinson takes the lead ahead of Samuel Hermer, and Martinson now leads the race, followed by Schnabel, Grischenbach, and Alexari, Brom, Reeves, Scarrett. Your top 8 right now as they race down into Villeneuve, as they are side by side. Hermer down to the inside. Hermer retakes the lead on Martinson as they race out of there, head into Tosa. Martinson down to the inside of Hermer, and Hermer is off. Hermer's off in Tosa. Hermer's off in Tosa. He's off the track. Schnabel goes up into the second, followed by Grischenbach, Thiemo Braun, Jack Reeve, and Alexander Scarrett. Your top 6 right now. Matthias Martinson from the second row is now leading in this race over aggressive move by Samuel Hermer, and he is out.
He is out, and just to make matters worse, Alistair Hay also spun where Sam Hermer was, and they made contact at Tosa turn 7. There was front wings are flying, that's for sure. Hay is back into the pits, Arroyo also, and Hermer is looking very, very slow. Your pole sitter is unfortunately out of this race. It's another disaster, just like what happened at Alton Park.
Yeah, a very big disaster right there, and you just feel for that as we are getting live pictures back very soon. As, yeah, here we are heading into Riviata side by side as in the midfield, but it's a Alcatech NHR 1-2 right now as they finish lap number 1 of Martinson and Schnabel, and then it's a bit of a gap to Grischenbach in 3rd place. And look at Jack Reeve, the amateur driver, up into 5th place. He had an amazing start, up 4 positions, and just like Rickard Bomberg as well, he's up 6 positions as he is nearing that transfer point of the top 8.
Great job by Jack Reeve, as you were saying there. A little bit of, I think something's happened to Joshua Alguersuari down the field. He's dropped down to 10th place. He is still moving on track, and Jemson Bakken as well, dropping down the feed. Reeve now up to 4th place. Absolutely amazing start from your amateur driver, but you have to say, what a start from Matthias Martinson. Started 3rd, now leads the race with his teammate right behind him. 4/10 separates the top 2, with Thiemo Braun just dropping back 3.5 seconds in 3rd place, with Reeve really hot on the heels of Thiemo Braun. Can we see Jack Reeve get a 3rd place overall? What an amazing result that would be for him, and we can see him now in the green liveried 205 car, and Jemson Bakken's definitely got an issue out there.
Yeah, Ackerman and Raleigh, I think when it given its first incident, Grischenbach, he's going very slow through Alta, as also that is Eduard Pop going wide through Alta. That's going to be a slowdown penalty. He's serving that right now. Grischenbach back into 10th place, but I believe he's had an issue at Alta. Alexander Scarrett under pressure. Rickard Bobbert went side by side. Scarrett down to the inside and got ahead of Rickard Bobbert right there. Bobbert and Scarrett were side by side a couple times throughout this lap, as we go back to our leaders who are not a lap ahead. They're right beside each other, side by side for the lead. Schnabel gets into the draft and swings around to the outside. New leader of the race, still Alcatech NHR, Lennart Schnabel ahead of Martinson. And then the fight for 3rd place is Braun and Reeves. They're side by side. And, Braun has had an issue. And so is Reeve, as Thurman has gone into 3rd. Yeah, there's Thiemo Braun onto the outside of, technically inside, near the wall, on the inside of the track of Tamburello. It looks like him and Jack Reeve might have had an issue. And here it is right now. There is Thiemo Braun and Jack Reeve side by side to the corner. And, got into the curb. And that's a violent hit right there.
Huge hit for both cars. Be surprised if Thiemo Braun can continue. That rear right took a lot of damage on the outside wall. And Jack Reeve, what a race he was having. He was so quick, so rapid, but just got up onto the curbs like we saw Lewis Hamilton do 1 year ago, but it ended a lot worse as we head back on board. This is Grischenbach now trying to get past 7th place as we head towards the Variante Alta chicane. It's going to be hard to make a move, and that's somebody certainly doing it there. Oh, and that's the 121 car without a front wing. That's Joshu. He's got no front wing. So where's that happened? Because that's certainly going to be hampering his performance.
I am not sure, but I have a feeling when Joshu was battling, because Joshu was in about 4th place at the start of this lap, or somebody. I feel like he might have just got into the back of one of the drivers going slow out of Tamburello, and that's where he lost his wing, but he's going to go in. He has to go into the pit lane to get that fixed.
Which he does. I think he's just... Actually, no, he hasn't pulled into the pit lane. Yeah, so we've got Timo Braun and Jack Reeve who have pitted, but Joshua even, in the 1-2-1 car, he's certainly trying to stick it out there.
Okay, he has a wing on his side, but for us as a spectator, I'm just going to make a call to Greg. I found a glitch.
Yeah, so we think that he does have a front wing.
He does have a front wing because he is still keeping pace around there, and you can't make that corner without a front wing.
No, but he did have I think we've all tried. He did have a lockup on the front left tyre though, so he's definitely got some form of damage. Unfortunately for Sam Hermer, he sets the fastest lap of the session at 1:35.482, and he's actually getting very close to fellow countryman Jack Reeve as they are in the battle for the last but one place. But the battle for first place is heating up. Mathiasen once again takes the lead. It seems a little bit like synchronized swimming out the front. So whoever is behind at the final corner gets that slipstream, makes the move around the outside into Tamburello corner, into turn 2. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen here again. I will prove my point wrong by going to the inside, but I do believe they're just racing, having a little bit of fun. And Thurman 7.7 seconds behind. And Mathiasen pulls in the 115 car, doesn't fight that, and Schneibel up to the lead once again.
Yeah, these two are their teammates. It's the heat race. You don't want to be racing your teammate as hard as in the heat round because you know if something happens, you're going to have to go, you're going to have to grind yourself back through the consolation race. This is what Samuel Hermer has to do, unfortunately, because our broadcasting PC was not in the session during lap 1. We do not have a replay of that.
It was bad. There was lots of contact that happened at this corner on track right at the moment. Turn 7, Toaster, they went 3 wide, and Sam Hermer, unfortunately for him, came off worse. But Schneibel and Martinson certainly didn't. They lead, not implying any blame there. It did, at least to me, look just like one of those racing incidents that you always see at the start of the race. Boberg looking very aggressive, trying to go all the way around the outside of Acqua Minerale, and he almost does it, just has to back out.
I have never seen a move heading into Acqua Minerale as Boberg tried to swing it around the outside, side by side. He got held up by Deck at the apex of the corner, but Deck and Boberg, and switchback opportunity by Boberg. It doesn't work like that, and all around goes Deck. And Deck falls to 8th place. Where is Joshu? Because Joshu can go back can advance to the final if he gets past Deck, and he does. And Rickard Boberg advances to 4th place. Rickard Boberg is up 12 spots from the start. What a race he's been having today.
What a race he's been having, not only up 12 spots, but taking that AM lead. And you will have the AM victory, certainly. I mean, his main competitor is almost 7 seconds behind him, and that is Eduardo Pop. He is currently in 10th place, so he will have to fight his way into the final heat if he wants to if he wants to battle Boberg. But what a great job by Boberg. And yeah, what happened to Stefan Deck there coming out of Variante Alta? Just seems like he took a little bit too much throttle. Too much mustard. I like that. My other favorite phrase is a bit ambition over adhesion there, and I think he was just really invested in that battle with Boberg, and Boberg just had so much grip, being able to pressure Stefan into Acqua Minerale. And I echo your thoughts, Austin. I have never seen a move happen there, and we almost did. And yeah, certainly no major contact, but I think Boberg did pick up a little bit of damage. But Joshu coming under pressure now from Eduardo Pop right behind him. So I think,
he does have damage. He doesn't have that damage.
No, he certainly does have some damage. We've seen him lock his front left tyre a few times, especially into the left-handers where that tyre is certainly unloaded. But yeah, Joshu just having a bit of a recovery drive at the moment. But as we've seen, drivers are making mistakes at the moment, and we have Scarrett v Negrete as Negrete pulls out.
Justin! What a move down the inside. He had a lot of speed heading into Riviazza, and he just said, I'm not going to pass you, I'm not going to pass you. On second thought, I'm going to pass you. Down to the inside, got out of the draft, but it was probably too early, because down the straightaway, Scarrett got into the draft of Negrete, They're going to go side by side, heading to Tamburello. Negret, is he going to go late on the brakes again? Scarrett, though, got into the brakes early. Decided that that wasn't probably the best idea, as Edouard Pop gets past Josh Shu around the outside. Josh Shu almost tried to send it down the inside, but Edouard Pop round the outside into 9th. One more position. His next target is Deck if he wants to get into that finale spot. Top 8 advance to the final.
And, of course, Stefan Deck did have that spin. He will be struggling with his rear tyre temperatures. These F2 cars, so sensitive. We've got about 1.5 minutes. F3 cars, sorry. So it's been a very long day. Eduardo Pop, yes, we've got about 1 minute and 20 seconds. So I think when these drivers cross the line, that will be their final lap. So if Eduardo Pop wants that 8th place, he's going to have to do it in the next lap or so. But Lennart Schneibel looking absolutely in control of this race. Martinson not really being able to catch up to him. The gap was 0.5 as they crossed the line last lap. And this, if Lennart Schneibel can survive turn 1, he's almost definitely got this race win. So let's see as they head across the line to start the final lap. And there is your white flag to confirm that. And this is Matthias Martinson's final opportunity to get that race win. But it doesn't seem to me like he's not close enough to make that move into Tamburello. And that's certainly the case. So Lennart Schneibel will, at least all going to plan. Don't want to put the commentator's curse on him. Will be your race winner, or at least he's in the best position, and that's Josh Yu there. And I still can't get over the fact that that car doesn't have a front wing, even though we know it does, but it just looks really strange.
It's very strange. It kind of looks like a pod racer if you look at it from a certain angle. As Alistair Hay gets past him now, he does have damage. It's not that type of damage because he, even without a wing, front wing, air quotes, he's putting in 139.40s. right now, so he does have damage, but it's not the one that we are seeing on our end. If Josh Yu did have a Twitch live stream going on, I would hop over there, but he is not live right now, and I couldn't assess the damage that he has. But that is one of the strangest things I've seen, but it's probably just like a little bit of a bend here and there, and you know, the iRacing damage model thing, because we're around the world and everything, it's just like, it looks like he has a front nose missing.
Yes, I think it's the wonders of the iRacing damage model. But Stefan Deck recovering very well, got the 222 car behind him, but this is your race winner, Lennart Schneibel, as he crosses the line to win race number 1, and he is through to the final.
Yeah, both the Algatech NHR teammates go 1-2, and they're going to be gritting up, well, 1 and 3rd in the finale as Thurman advances through. Ricker Bauberg up 12 spots, putting in a very great performance for him today. Advances to the finale in 4th place. What a job for the Amsterdam Championship leader, Justin Negret, Alexander Scarrett, Christian Bakken. Deck advances through. Edouard Pop does not get there. Josh Yu beats out Hay at the line for 10th place. Kabali Channy in 12th, followed by Helgard, Braun, Hermer, Arroyo, Jack Reeve. And here is Samuel Hermer trying to get a position on Timo Braun at the line. They're going to be coming across it right. Oh, there's contact again! Hermer makes contact with Braun. Braun breaks in front of the line. Hermer was able to go around the outside and finish ahead of Braun. Does Braun have suspension damage?
He either has suspension damage.
Please can we get replay of that finish from Braun? Because it looks like Hermer, when he hit Braun, Braun just couldn't drive the car anymore. And Hermer was able to go around the outside after a mistake. As hopefully we didn't just glitch the session by requesting this. I think we did. Yeah, we did. Oh no.
So let's try and sort of work it out from our decidedly, or in my case, poor memories. Either Braun did have suspension damage. These cars are very easy to break the drive shaft, and once you lose one of the drive shafts at the rear of the car, you lose most of your power. There's not any force from the engine getting to those rear tyres. But Timo Braun could have been doing the gentleman thing as well, and sort of feeling that he caused the accident and allowing Hermer to take that position. A very, very strange accident there.
It was so strange, and well, heat number 2 is about to be underway. Kitty Larson will be starting off on pole, followed by Gavin Petty, Hendrik Anderson, Kevin Swenstra, Alejandro Ledo, Aaron Smith, Nicholas Rasmussen, Christian Glenn, Glam Center, followed by Rick Van Ackeren, win our K-match, Josh Lane, Michael Blythe, Nick Poliard, Philip Russell, Nicholas Westman, Laura C. Sorensen, and Jamie Duque, as I feel so bad because I know what's happening. As, yes, the drivers are on the grid right now, and they are getting ready to go racing here, as, yep, we're going back to radio moments here. They are green. As Kenny Larson and Gavin Petty get off the line, heading into Tamburello. A little bit of movement in the midfield right there, but they're keeping it fairly even with each other. Leto and Swemstra was able to get the positions ahead of each other, but no major incidents. Larson's Petty, Leto, Swemstra, and Anderson still out your leaders right now as they head through Villeneuve. Van Ackeren does go off the track, as here is the replay of the start right now, as I'm just trying not to look at my tiny screen right here, but this is Larson leading into Tamburello, followed by Gavin Petty, and very clean compared to the chaos at the start of lap 1 of the other race. See the two Alcatech cars looking for a move already heading into Villeneuve, and that fight for 4th as Larson is just kind of pulled away. Van Ackeren, you can see in the background, is trying to make it 3 wide through Villeneuve, got caught up in the grass as drops to the back of the field at Tosa.
Yeah, great start. Oh, and there's a very big accident there in the background of Tosa. I think that was Duque, and I think Nicholas Westman involved in that. But what a start for your race leader, Larson, there. Absolutely commanding lead. Got the clutch absolutely dialed in for the start as they head down into Acqua Minerale now. The tricky second breakers then. Oh, there's a car going off there. Really trying to take a little bit too much speed in. Really being affected by that dirty air effect, which is so tricky to work.
Look at Aaron Smith down to the inside. Beautiful move on Christian, on the number 3 of Henrik Anderson right there, Aaron Smith. Well, I gave him the nickname of Swift Aaron Smith for having a total of in the 20 overtakes after a disastrous heat race. He made it up in the consolation race. Well, he doesn't have to worry about that consolation race right now. He's currently in 5th place. This guy's to keep it clean. Cars heading into the pit lane in the background. Van Ackeren and Josh Lane, as it's Kenny Larson leading out the race right now ahead of Gavin Petty. As we see a move for 3rd place, that's Zwemstra on Leto. Zwemstra trying to hold it around the outside at Tamburello. Leto sends it down to the inside, able to defend it at the entry, but can he hold it off the exit? That is the best part about Imola. There are 2 corners back to back. Looking down the inside, here comes Kevin Zwemstra, sends it down to the inside. Leto on to the inside now. Leto and Zwemstra. He's got to leave the room for Zwemstra. Zwemstra still up to the inside. Heading into Tosa, down to the inside. Leto around the outside. Zwemstra down to the inside, off the exit of Tosa. It is Zwemstra making the move for 3rd place, but Leto's right there on the outside. He's got a little bit bent onto the inside line, but he just gets off the throttle. Decides, I shouldn't be fighting that into this corner. I want to make it to the finale, and he gives that spot to Zwemstra. Well earned by Kevin Zwemstra with that fantastic move.
Was a fantastic move indeed. Zwemstra actually had a great start, making up he's 1 position at the time. Great job by him. Yeah, it's been a great start by pretty much everybody. We've had only a few people losing spots at the start. Van Ackeren, one of them, Josh Lane, the other, and Nicholas Westman also involved at the Tosa incident on lap 1, as we're still having a little bit of technical issues. I can inform you, though, that Gavin Petty has dropped down to 5th place. So something has happened to our 2nd place man, Gavin Petty, and I think we're seeing what has happened to him.
3 wide on the straight. That is Leto shooting the moon down to the middle right there. Now Leto defending onto the inside. There's Swimster right there all up to the outside. They're going on 3 wide heading into Tamburello. That is Aaron. Oh my gosh. That is very tight heading into Tamburello. Aaron Smith, the 142 on the tail right there. Smith will get down to the inside of Swemstra as they go into hyperspeed right now as we try to fast forward into what's actually happening right now.
Like Formula 1 cars, it's the new Apex Racing League, as we are seeing.
I'm sorry I'm suggesting ways to fix this. I wasn't expecting it to happen like this.
So let's have a look at our timing screen. So
Wow.
Luedo is in second place. Aaron Smith, great job by him, up to third. Really showing
As we're
his...
going fast forward, I go to try to talk fast forward. Leto leading into review. Oh, we get right down to we're back to real life. Okay.
Yay! So
Luedo
Luedo in second, Aaron Smith in third, Zwemstra in fourth, Gavin Petty down to fifth. I think he must have had some form of slowdown or a pretty shocking exit out of Revatsa 2 because he was absolutely eaten alive on the straight. As we're seeing Zwemstra get past Aaron Smith, they're going to go side by side as we head into Tamburello once again. Anderson sets the fastest lap of the race so far. Aaron Smith gets overtaken by Zwemstra. Zwemstra up to third place. Smith down to fourth. Petty wants a little bit of a piece of this action as we head towards the Villeneuve chicane.
Yeah, heading into Villeneuve right now. Smith onto the back of Zwemstra. Zwemstra able to make that position back on Smith, but Aaron Smith trying to look down to the inside. It's not going to happen right there. A little bit of a puff of smoke in the brakes. I think that was from Aaron Smith. As here, he's under pressure by Gavin Petty. Petty putting in a lot of pressure on Aaron Smith.
Petty had certainly had the pace earlier on in the race. He was catching up to Larson, putting a lot of pressure on Larson, which is why I think Petty made some form of mistake, and that's when we saw the replay of him being eaten alive on the straight. So Petty is one to watch. His teammate Sam Hermer did again have the pace in race one, but didn't have the luck. And Petty so far not having the luck, making a move, having a look at Aaron Smith on the braking zone to the very anti-Alta, thinks better of it, thinks he'd rather save the car, save his off tracks and try and make a move probably out of Revatsa 2 down towards Tamburello. That seems where we're seeing most of the action. Just to update you, Duque and Westman are out of this race. You will be seeing no further part, they will be taking no further part in race number 2.
Yeah, Duque, Westman, after that incident at the start of the race, there will be, they're in the pits, and I believe they're going to be out. They're actually just completely left the session. We might see one of them, after everything's all calm and collected, try to get in through the consolation race, but it's going to be an uphill battle right there because this is a very tightly packed field right now. And look at 9th through 16th. All AM drivers, but remember in heat number 1, we had a few pros get into there. Samuel Hermer, the start of his race, will be trying to fight his way back up from the back of the field to get into the feature race as well. So we're going to be seeing a lot of uphill battles for a few protagonists in the consolation race from the back of the grid as we ride on board to Gavin Petty, try and chase down Aaron Smith right now. As we head through the double left-hander, a few cars getting a little bit ambitious with the track limits. You'll definitely run out there. You'll just get a 1X, and we do have a X limit. As you can see through Ackerman around. Oh, Gavin Petty got a great run as Smith and Zwemstra went a little bit deep right there. Petty just looking down the inside, filling up the mirrors of Aaron Smith. Not going to have an opportunity to head into Alta, but he's getting an amazing run as they hop over the curbs. Don't get ambitious onto the throttle right there. Goes out a little bit wider to make sure that he doesn't overcook the tires, but heading into Riviera, Gavin Petty does have an opportunity. Aaron Smith's got to have to watch out as Gavin Petty could look down to the inside. Got onto the brakes a little bit earlier to set himself up for that run into Tamburello. Great decision by Gavin Petty. It's not the last lap. You don't want to head into Reviata right there because the run into Tamburello is where you're going to get a lot of speed. No DRS for these Formula 3 cars like in real life, but the draft is just enough as Aaron Smith looking in on Zwemstra as well as Gavin Petty. Gavin Petty swinging on to the outside of Tamburello. Smith looking down to the inside of Tamburello. He gets covered off by Zwemstra, and Aaron Smith able to sneak down to the inside of Gavin Petty. Smith back into fourth. Gavin Petty got blocked by Zwemstra unintentionally as Zwemstra was just taking the regular racing line, trying to defend from Aaron Smith right there, and Smith did the right thing, take the opposite line that Zwemstra does, and make him be the roadblock to Gavin Petty. That could have ended very badly.
It certainly could. Gavin Petty needs to play the long game here. He is currently in a good enough position to advance to the final, and that's really all he needs to do from this Heat 2 race. It's always the icing on the cake if you can advance to the field. Even a podium is still technically available for Gavin Petty, but you know, sometimes it's not worth the risk. It's a real risk-reward calculation that you have to do while you're driving around Imola at about 150 kilometers an hour. Petty does look quick though, Aaron Smith as well, and Zwemstra there. The thorn in Gavin Petty's side, as you were saying, down into Tamburello, turn 2, just. Zwemstra was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Luedo now coming under pressure from Zwemstra as we head into the braking zone of Revatsa 1. Nothing can be done on this short squirt of the throttle to Ravazza 2, and we are going to see an almighty battle. We might even see some cars through wide as we head into Tamburello. Once again, what a race this is so far.
Yeah, Zwemstra in the draft of Lado, Smith in the draft of Zwemstra, Petty in the draft of Smith. We got a few big car train right now, but side by side for second place. Lado onto the inside, Zwemstra looking onto the outside, heading into Tamburello. Lado goes deep onto the brakes right there, covers off Zwemstra on the entry, but he chops the exit very tightly, and now Zwemstra's got an almighty run heading into Villeneuve, looking down to the inside right there. Zwemstra, can he hold it down to the inside? Yes, he does. Lado can't hold it through there. As here comes Aaron Smith. Smith's got a good run. Smith trying to look down to the inside, but Lado's right there, being kind of a roadblock and blocking Smith from making that move. Smith going for the switchback right now. Lado getting on to the outside turn. Smith's being forced all the way to the left side of the track as they head into the double left-hander. And Aaron Smith, he's going to look for that late braking move. He's found a gap right there, but this is so tight, racing for third place. Lado defending from Smith. Smith all over the attack, and Gavin Petty is trying to find a way through there as they head into Aquaman around. Petty got onto the binders right there to avoid getting into the back of Smith. That really closed off his opportunity. Petty really looking down to the inside as he knows he's very faster through the curvy bits of track, but the draft from the other cars is helping keep Smith ahead of him. Gavin Petty in the back end kicking out right there as he's trying to chase down Aaron Smith, as he's trying to chase down Lado as they head into Riviera. 1 minute to go. White flag is out next time by. Smith looking down to the inside of Lado. Decides it's not the best opportunity to go for that. We got to say that for the last lap. Now last time by. White flag is in the air here for heat number 2, and we're going to have an almighty fight for second place and maybe even for fifth place, as well as Gavin Petty is under pressure by Anderson. Lado defending onto the inside of Smith. Smith looking onto the outside of Lado as they're going to go side by side in Tamburello. 2 rows deep. Lado down to the inside of Smith. Lado able to retake that position, but he once again gets a bad exit. Smith looking trying to get the grip off the outside. Lado defending all the way down to the inside. Smith positioned around the outside. Can he hold it around the outside? Now Smith's onto the inside. Smith, and they touched off the exit. And here comes Anderson around the outside of Tosa. Anderson, if he holds the car right there, he could be able to have it, but no, Anderson cannot get ahead of Smith right there off that exit. This is a tight fight for the lead as well. Larson under pressure by Zwemstra as they head into the run into Aquamineral. The leaders and the rest of the drivers heading for the podium in this heat race are racing like it is the end of the world right now, and everybody is going absolutely crazy as they head into Alta. Larson and Zwemstra a little bit calm than the 4 cars behind him that are just all over the place coming out of Aquamineral. Lado still leading that group as this is Larson leading out Zwemstra. Then Zwemstra one last time heading into Riviera. Looking down to the inside. It's not going to happen right there. Larson leading out of Riviera 2. The better exit could get an opportunity. He's got a run. Here comes Zwemstra. Zwemstra's in the gearbox. Larson goes wide. Zwemstra goes out to the inside. Side by side at the line. Zwemstra takes the win by 0.02 of a second.
What an incredible finish, Larson. I thought he had the win, went wide, and Zwemstra just took the shortest line to the line and got the win.
Larson thought the finish line was the F1 finish line where it is at the curb, not the iRacing finish line where it is at the line. Oh my gosh. A lapse in judgment by Kevin Zwemstra, by Kitty Larson to give Kevin Zwemstra the win here in heat number 2.
We might have had some technical issues at the start, so you missed the start, but we certainly did not miss the end. That last lap,
we made it up for the finish.
Oh, that final lap had about 4 races worth of action. Absolutely insane race there. Christian Glamsetter as well, sneaking into that top 8. So he is once again in the final. Great job. But Philip Russell just missing out on that disappointing. Well, it's disappointing for the drivers because it's so close to that top 8, but he is in 9th. So he will have to do it all again in race number 3.
Yeah, he'll be starting in the front row of the Constellation race, which is going to be up very soon. We're just waiting on Josh Lane to get across the line right now, but we do have a chance to catch our breath, and by we I mean me, because oh my gosh, that was heart pounding action on the last lap between Zwemstra and Larson as they fought for the lead, as we are now on the grid for our consolation race. Here is the race 2 results. Zwemstra takes the win by Larson, Lado, Smith, Anderson, Penny, Rasmussen, and Glamsetter advance to the finale. And a few drivers, those rest of the drivers go to consolation race, but they don't have to wait long as consolation race is right now. Edward Pop be starting up on pole, followed by Philip Russell, Joshua Agzari with a fixed front wing, Michael Blythe, Alistair Hay, Michael Kaibach, Kabali Chani, Lasse Sorensen, Andreas Helgaard, Rick Van Acker, Samuel Hermer, Nick Poliard in 12th place. They're followed by Timo Braun, Josh Lane, Dorian Arroyo, Nicholas Westman, Jack Reed, Jimmy Duque, and Jose Arroyo here in your 19-car consolation race here at Imola.
That's the engines rev, and we're about to go racing once again, and it's lights out. And away we go. The 222 car gets a great start there. The 271 car just pulls in, and it's all looking good as they head down towards Tamburello, Austin.
Heading into Tamburello, down to the inside, it's Philip Russell, and Edward Pop got caught by the curb. Pop is in the wall. Philip Russell into the lead. And this is Samuel Herbert trying to do a little lawn mowing in the grass. A pass in the grass by Samuel Herbert, round to the outside of Lasse Sorensen. A lot of cars go wide out of Villeneuve right there, and they get caught into the gravel as Philip Russell defending from Josu right there, as they're followed by Alistair Harry, Kaibach, and Samuel Herbert. Herbert with that pass in the grass benefited from the chaos at Villeneuve right there to be in 5th place. He just needs one more car to advance to the finale, as this is the 223 Rick Van Acker be stuck around to the outside. Michael Blythe making a move right there as we go back to our fight for the lead. Philip Russell leading out the field.
Joshua almost crashed into the back of Philip Russell as we headed into turn 9 Perotada.
Oh, that's a
down
send.
the inside goes Joshua into the Variante Alto, and he takes the first position. Great job by him, really making amends for that first race where he had that damage. Hermer is now up to 4th. He's got past Michael Kaibach there. So Hermer, again, has had an absolutely amazing start. Alistair Hay as well in 3rd place after starting.
Joshua went wide. But yeah, Hermer, after starting down in the pack, able to make up 7 spots on this first lap and able to be in that transfer spot, but he's under pressure by Kaibach as Hay, look here, is under pressure by Philip Russell. Russell onto the inside. Russell's going to be the draft of Joshua ahead, but Joshua defending onto the inside, and that's going to force him to back off right there. We see Hermer defending from Kaibach. Kaibach actually pressuring Hermer on the straightaway. Hermer is not locked in yet because he is still with the rest of the pack right behind him, and the cars ahead of him, well, they're kind of the engine of this train, and you're kind of, a convoy's only as fast as the leading car.
It certainly is. Joshua, though, is your leading car for the time being. Alistair Hay in 2nd place, and this is a replay of the start. This is Edward Pop, the 222 car. It certainly was 3 wide down to the braking zone. What's going to happen here? Eduardo Pop
the curb at the entry.
It's so easy to do, and just unlucky the way that the car hit the wall. You're right, the tyre came off, but unlucky for your pole sitter. He is currently out of the car. Will take no further part in this race. Also, Jose Arroyo, Nicholas Westman, and Jamie Duque once again as Hermer makes a move for 3rd place.
Oh, that was the lunge on Russell right there. Hermer into 3rd, trying to make sure that he advances to the finale. He definitely doesn't want to miss the finale, as we do have a championship on the line here.
We do. Hermer currently in 2nd place, just about 88 points behind the leader, Olsen, who is not racing tonight. So this is Hermer's big opportunity to score good points, and he's doing exactly what he needs to do. His next person to try and overtake is Alistair Hay, but will he go for the risk in overtaking Alistair Hay, or just concede his position, feel like 3rd is good enough, and sort of hope that Russell, maybe if he doesn't have the pace, can hold everybody behind him, 5th downwards behind Russell. And it
Hermer is definitely going for that move. He doesn't need to wait for the front straight. He's looking for right now, heading to Villeneuve. This is going to be a big look. Hay leaves the space. Hermer looking for the switch back onto the outside of Villeneuve, back onto the inside. And now around the outside at Toza. Hay onto the inside. Hermer around the outside. Hermer just carrying that car through there like it was no problem at the edge of grip. Hermer around the outside at Toza. Up into 2nd.
Great job by Sam Hermer, really showing how much control he has over the car at this phase in the race. Philip Russell looking very eager behind Alistair Hay. It's sort of that battle that Hermer and Hay had has allowed Russell to catch up, and it's not too far before we start getting into the reams of Michael Kybok and Michael Blaise. So really need to watch out if you're Alistair Hay. Doesn't seem to have the pace at the moment, but what can Sam Hermer do? Is he looking at a race win?
Oh, that's a lockup right there by Blaise. Jack Reed was putting in a big push right there, and he forced Michael into that mistake as this fight for 6th place kind of separated them from Kybok, who can now just focus on Russell up ahead, as these three are going to be all over each other on this front straightaway. Jack Reed having an amazing run through Riviazza. He's going to get past him before the start-finish line. This might open him up under pressure for Devo Braun to make a run on Blaise, and maybe Jack Reeves as they go side by side down the front straightaway. And Kybok and Reeves still side by side heading to Tamburello, and they're going to leave this a 2-car fight. Late lunge around the outside. Jack Reeves. Oh, that is one to write to your mama about right there. Alistair Hay losing out to Russell. Russell goes down to the inside after an amazing run through Tamburello. Russell up into 3rd.
There's hit action here, there, and everywhere. Hermer was 4/10 quicker than your race leader on the last lap, although he did get an off track, but Hermer is a man on a mission to take the race win here. Alistair Hay dropping back a little bit, but he is still crucially in that top 4. As here is the battle for the lead, down towards Acro Minerale. Sam Hermer all the way around the outside, and he takes that position. And we were just saying we'd never seen a move around Acro Minerale. We certainly have now.
Oh, we've seen it twice in one night. We saw 2 attempts for it, but 1 successful attempt, and hopefully tomorrow we see a lot more.
Yes, certainly we're doing some more F3 commentary as well, so let's hope for as many overtakes in Acro Minerale as possible. Also in the Formula 1 as well, I did.
And Formula 2. And
F1.
And Porsche Super Cup.
And F2 and F3, everything, please. I want more of that. That was absolutely insane. Sam Hermer doing what Sam Hermer does best, and moves that you just don't think are possible. And Hermer has an 8/10 gap, as this is Timo Braun trying to get past Michael Blaise, as they are side by side as they cross the start-finish line. This is great for Timo Braun, as they're going to drag race down towards the Tamburello chicane. Braun's going to have to go all the way around the outside if he wants this position. He will be later on the brakes, and they are side by side once again. Timo Braun gets the inside, and they've touched.
Oh, no!
He just keeps it out of the wall. They touch wheel to wheel. Blaise comes off worse, but he's still somehow got all 4 wheels on that wagon. What a race this is.
Positive note, he's still going to the sour note, though. That is so unfortunate. He was in the opportunity to have that, and then he falls away after that contact at Tamburello. But he's able to keep on going, and you just feel for the man.
You certainly do. Did lose a position though, just lost a chunk of time, around 4 seconds, to Timo Braun. This is the battle for 3rd place. Alistair Hay wanting that position back from Philip Russell, tries to fill up the mirrors of Russell into the braking zone of the Variante Elta. We'll get a good exit from the chicane. Philip Russell there squirming around on exit. He'll have to be careful of that, especially as we head into a slightly longer 15-minute race after this. You can't really be treating the tyres like that for too long. Alistair Hay also looking like is doing a great job. Oh, very wide though, as I say that, on the exit of Riviazza too. That's lost him a little bit of time, but Kybok there, Austin, is a little bit too far off this battle. So if you're Hay, you can kind of afford to lose a little bit of time fighting Philip Russell, as actually Russell sets the fastest lap of the race. Hermer does go a little bit quicker, but Hermer once again picking up those off tracks, and it really does pay to be consistent.
It certainly does. Consistency is key, especially in racing. The best way to close down the drivers ahead, consistent lap times, because if the driver in front of you makes a mistake and you don't, you're going to be gaining time. And that is definitely, oh my gosh, Jack Reed! I'm sorry, he was a car length behind Kybok heading into that corner. He was a car length ahead exiting the corner. I was not expecting a send down the inside by Jack Reeve right there.
No, I don't think any of us was. Yeah, step away, Daniel Ricciardo. We have Jack Reeve instead. Great move by him. And now, what can he do? He's got about 3 minutes left of racing. Can he catch up to Alistair Hay?
He's got to hope somebody up ahead makes a big mistake because they are in a little tight fight. Hay and Russell are kind of in a draft heading into Tamarillo. They're going to be holding each other up, but he's got to close 2 seconds on them to advance to the finale. Can Jack Reeve advance on these two? Can these two not stay out of each other's wheels, or will actually these three, as Joshua is at the front of this group, and he's under pressure by Philip Russell, and here comes Russell in the draft right now. Russell, oh, being defended all the way down to the inside. It goes Joshua. Russell looking on to the outside of Tamarillo. They're going to go side by side right now. Oh, look at that by Russell, holding around to the outside, but there's Joshua off the exit. They're going to be side by side, 2 wide. Hey, what's better than 2? Let's make it 3 wide. Oh, Alistair Hay certainly wanted to make that 3 wide right now, heading to Villeneuve, but Joshua's going to stay ahead of Russell by that inside line. Russell backed out of it. Alistair Hay really backed out of it into the clutches. Well, that's how you close 2 seconds within 2 corners. Look at that. That's Jack Reeve.
It's anybody's game here from second downwards. You've got Reeve, Hay, Russell, and Joshua all battling for their place in the final tonight. Philip Russell there trying quite an optimistic move round the outside. I thought he had it done, but Joshua just managed to keep a nose in, and that's really given him the advantage.
I think Hay was kind of psyching himself out right there as Hay makes a little bit of a mistake, brings in the clutches of Jack Reeve. Jack Reeve could have the Cinderella story right here and advance 13 spots to get into the finale because he is on the gearbox of Alistair Hay right now with 1 lap to go. White flag is in the air.
Certainly is. This is Jack Reeve's only chance to get through. He needs. How did you keep that one out of the wall, Jack? Great save, but unfortunately it's lost him so much time.
He can still do this. He's got to just have the perfect lap and wish for someone to go crazy up ahead. Alistair Hay closing out Philip Russell. He's 1 late dive for having these 2 fight heading into Tamarillo. Joshua pulling away from Russell as Hay trying to close in on Russell. Alistair Hay was struggling with tire wear. We saw him coming out of Riviera. His back end kicked out a lot, and that charged Reeve to make a big shoes right there as Johnny gets dove down to the inside by Timo Braun. Braun up into 6th place. He's trying to make the best out of this situation and get some points right there as his dreams of getting into the finale lie in this pack of 3 in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Hermer's in this race. He's 6 seconds ahead, and honestly, I kind of forgot he was in this race.
Yeah, me too. It certainly just goes to show how quick Sam Hermer has been. But if you're Alistair Hay, you need to not fight Russell up ahead. You just need to concede your place. But Russell
got held up
very wide on exit. Alistair Hay's going to move to the outside, but need to not squabble too much. Jack Reeve is right behind them, and he wants this spot more than anybody on the grid.
Look at Jack Reeve through Alta. He dove it over the curb. Jack Reeve could have an opportunity heading into Riviera. Is Hay going to defend heading into Riviera or make an attacking move? Hay's looking down to the inside right there, trying to defend. There's a little bit of lockup right there. This is going to be the exit of all exits. If you're Jack Reeve, it is, but unfortunately for him, Hay got a better exit. Sailor Hermer slows down to come across the line in the win, followed by Joshua in 2nd, Russell, Hay in 4th, and Jack Reeve. Oh, he couldn't make good on the Cinderella story. And taking off into the air is Jack Reeve.
Well, he was ahead of Alistair Hay and Russell for a very brief moment. That's
going to be taking a lot of screwdrivers to fix that. I think all 4 of the wheels just came off. It was beautiful. I gotta say that it was beautiful to watch.
I think there was a little bit of frustration there from Jack Reeve. If he hadn't have made that mistake coming out of Rabatza 2, he would have almost certainly had at least a really, really good chance of getting past Alistair Hay, but he was just a little bit too trigger happy on the throttle. But I mean, a great save from him and a great race from Jack Reeve, up 12 spots from where he started. So, I mean, a great race all round from him. He shouldn't be too disappointed, but that will sting a little bit. He was on the edge of getting into the final.
On the edge, Philip Russell able to carry it with the pros, advances to the finale as well. Samuel Hermer up 10 spots. Kind of not a surprise by that. It is Samuel Hermer battling for the championship. He'll be starting in 17th in the finale, as here are your B final results. Samuel Hermer is listed there. He took the win.
We just don't need to see him. We don't need to see him.
We all know this happened. Joshua Alexari in second. Philip Russell in third. Alistair Hay in fourth. Jack Reeve is taken off to the next round as he entered the Astronosphere. Finished in fifth ahead of Team LeBron. Michael Kaibach, Blyes, Van Ackern, Hellegard, Chani, Arroyo, Poliard, Edward Pop, Jose Arroyo, Lassie Sorensen, Josh Lane, and Nicholas Westman, and Jamie Duque with that incident at the start. That is your consolation race. You're here live watching the Apex Racing Academy Formula 3 VRS Super Series here for round 6. We'll be right back for the finale, but first we're going to take a little small break.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
And welcome back to Apex Racing TV and the Apex Racing Academy Formula 3 VRS Super Series here at Imola. Beautiful day for a afternoon. And, you know, we've had 3 heart-pounding action races here today. And now it is come to this, the finale here at Imola. Heat 1, Heat 2, and the 4 consolation drivers get combined in for one 20-car grid. And here is that grid. Lennart Schnabel will be starting up on pole, followed by Kevin Slemstrom, Matthias Martinsen, Kenny Larson, and Mike Thurman, Leto, and Rickard Bobber, followed by Aaron Smith, Justin Negrete, Hendrik Anderson, Alexander Scarrett, and Gavin Petty in 12th place. They're followed by Mats Christian Bakken, Nicholas Rasmussen, Stefan Deck, Christian Glamcenter, Samuel Hermer, Joshua Agzari, Philip Russell, and Alistair Hay at the end of our 20-car grid. And, oh boy. But what have we seen today? This is going to be a stone's throw away from the best race you've ever seen. It's an Algatech 1-2-3, so I shouldn't be seeing any craziness heading into turn 1, but Kenny Larson could have a start from that second row like we saw in heat number 1 to disrupt that action. It's time to go racing. 5 red lights. And it's green, green, green here at Imola. It's an amazing, horrible start by our pole sitter. Thurman falls down to 3rd, and Larson jumps up to 2nd place. It's Swemstra leading it out right there. You see Thurman, and all around goes one car into the wall, back row, and that's Christian Bakken in the wall right there. Christian Bakken. Wheel is off, and Leonard Schnabel was the car in the wall. Schnabel is off. We got more cars off. That's Aaron Smith slow. Actually, it's not. That is Larson slow. Everyone's slow. Big slow up checkup. It looks like somebody said, hold up, wait a minute. Yellow flag right there because in fielder, everybody just slammed on the brakes to avoid that.
What an incredible start. I mean, we've got no chances as commentators here. We're going to have no voice left by the end of this. Sam Hummer down the inside into Ackerman the rally. Great start by him. He is over. That's Gavin Petty, and he's off. There's 2 cars off. That's Petty and Boberg.
That's Gavin Petty and Boberg heading into Ackerman around. Big crash right there. Fantastic if you're Samuel Herbert, though, as the season pretty much parted away for Samuel Herbert. With all this chaos, he's already up 7 spots and is halfway through the lap.
Incredible, absolutely incredible.
Lato diving down to the inside of Larson, Kenny Larson. Oh, Larson had that bad start. Zwemstra from P2, I don't think he knows what even happened here right now. He started right next to his teammate. Schnabel got the worst start I've ever seen from a driver on the front row. He falls all the way down and then got into the curb like we saw Edward Pop do in the consolation race. Ended up into the wall. That's the end of Lennart Schnabel. Gavin Petty and Ricker Boberg are in the pits as well as Aledo looking onto the outside of Thurman. Side by side, heading through Villeneuve, round the outside. Lato up into 3rd place.
Yes, and the top 2 are so far ahead. It's 2 seconds to Mathiasson. So this is certainly a battle for 3rd place at the moment. And that's Thurman there trying to get past Luedo once again. You just see the gaps there on your screen. Thurman and Smith separated by less than half a second behind Luedo. Luedo very wide into turn 9. Absolutely great racing. Luedo has just been able to extend his lead just that little bit though, and Thurman and Smith battling it out behind them. What an absolutely incredible race.
Smith looking down to the inside, heading into Alta, but he checked up a little bit too early. Now he's under pressure by Larson, but he got into the back of Thurman right there, and Rasmussen falls down to 11th after a mistaken Alta. I think he had to cut the course right there to avoid all the chaos as Smith is defending, attacking onto the inside, heading into Riviasa. Look in the back, it's a send by one of the Alcatel cars. That's Anderson out of nowhere on Larson, said, hello, I'm here. Goes off of the track just a little bit. Kicks up a little bit of dust, and Larson could surprise Anderson once more. And look at that, defending all the way to the opposite side of the track and into the grass right there. Smith and Thurman attacking each other as Anderson and Larson are attacking each other right now. And they're 4 wide in the background, heading into Tamburello. Herbert makes contact. Big crash right there. Larson, Herbert, Justin Agret, big contact right there. I think Samuel Herbert was just a little bit too ambitious right there, making contact with Justin Agret, getting him into Scarrett, and Hermer is towed into the pits. Oh, big crash.
Big crash indeed. It's almost the exact same as Alton Park for Sam Hermer. Disappointing round 1, great recovery race to get into the final, and then involved in an incident. So that is Hermer and Schneibel in the pits, although I think Schneibel has just come out. He wants a little bit of the action, and the way this race is going, it's anybody's game, and this is the start of the race, and this is Leonard Schnabel. Let's have a listen on the board.
This is the worst start you can have. The tires wheel spin massively, and it just falls 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots right there. So he's trying to be aggressive. Number 6, 7 goes aggressive down to the inside. Got that inside curve. Back end tires were super heated to microwave temperatures and into the wall, and that's where you flip the table And I think we're going to get a replay of the Hermer incident now, as we have a little bit of a time to catch our breaths. It's been 4 minutes into this race, and my throat is feeling like it's done a marathon.
I feel like I'm about to collapse. Thurman tries to get past, Anderson gets past Thurman into the braking zone of Tamburello, and that is a move done for Thurman. Anderson, and that's Thurman, the 1-2-3 car behind him. Back, and this is Russell on Rasmussen there. Sorry, I'm getting all confused. That's Alistair Hay being passed by Russell. These two were battling in the race previously, and Gemscher-Bakken there, who had a little bit of a difficult start.
Deck trying to hold it around the outside, but it's held off by Rasmussen. Able to go side by side and make that move right there. Oh, I just love this first sector in Imola. A few people says, oh, Imola is hard to have racing on. Show them this race.
Certainly, and yes, the commentators have an easy job. Again,
okay, watch Hermer right here. Hermer's at the back of this group. He looks out to the inside. There's Negret holding him off, and then Hermer, he just tried to lunge it in to a spot that there was an opportunity. Got into Negret, which got into Scarrett, and
yeah, that was Sam's mistake there. He just tried to stick his nose where it wasn't needed. I thought it was going to be a sort of Fernando Alonso, Esteban Gutierrez crash from Hermer, sort of taking the front wheel off, but unfortunately it wasn't. Fortunately it wasn't. That would have been an even bigger crash, but yeah, Hermer needs to take the blame for that, and he's ruined a few other races. But this is Kevin Zemstra. He is being caught by Matthias Martinsen. Last lap, Martinsen was 0.6 of a second quicker. So watch for this battle. It's a battle that's going to sort of just slowly come into its own.
They are teammates.
But are they really teammates? Are they really teammates when it comes to the final race, or do you want the glory?
When you're going for the team's championship, I would say yes. Even though they, in the championship standings for the teams, I think they're a football yard away from second place.
Yeah, I mean, if I saw my teammate up ahead, it's almost extra encouragement. You really want to beat your teammate, so that's a good dynamic, though. Yes, you do. So
can we go back to Martinson? I think I made a big misjudgment right here. Yes, okay, I'm right. There is Alcatech NHR and Alcatech NHR 2. So they're a part of the same organization, but they're technically not teammates.
Oh, in which case, this is race on. Watch this battle with about
but they're technically teammates outside of this.
Oh,
we do have the rule of teammate cap sizes, so we can't have 8 cars in the same team, so we do split them. Keep it fair to everybody else. 4 cars maximum. Or is it 3 cars?
Well, as well, we worked that out. Philip Russell having an absolutely storming race so far. Been just super quick. He's currently second in the AM category. Glamstetter leads that 8th overall, but Russell doing an absolutely great job in the slipstream of Stefan Deck as we head into the Tamburello chicane. Once again, we've seen so many moves here. Will he pick the inside? Will he pick the outside? Or will he pick the third option? And that's just not that too far back and unable to make the move. And he certainly chooses the third option. But Philip Russell glued to the back of Stefan Deck. And I think he's wanting that 10th place. And he wants it sooner rather than later.
Yeah, Deck definitely trying to have a good day here. A good top 10 would be probably the best way to have this. He's up 5 spots.
Yes, indeed. I think that was Russell having a little bit of a connection issue there, but it seems to all be sorted, and he is so close to Stefan Deck. Is he going to go down the inside of Piratella? Yes, he is. It's going to be a great move if he can make it stick.
He left the space around the outside, being the gentleman he is, but unfortunately doing that at a loss of a lot of speed, and now he's under pressure by Philip Russell.
Oh, that's very wide on the exit there from Stefan Deck. And Gemscher-Bakken here just watching this in the background. He goes round the outside of the Variante Alta, thinks better of it, but
Gemscher-Bakken! Too much mustard off the exit, slides down all the way to the inside of the track, and he's being caught by his IGL Koenig's iRacing teammate right there of Scarrett, as Scarrett let him keep the spot.
Very teammatesy, very friendly from the teammates there. Backen really just too much throttle out of the Variante Alta, and that's really allowed Russell to have another go at Stefan Deck, but his former rival Alistair Hay right behind him in 12th. This is one of the best battles I've seen in iRacing for quite some time. Philip Russell on the brakes into the Tamburello chicane, just keeps it neat and tidy. Just a little bit too far back to be making those moves, but he is in the slipstream. He is in the prime position to make that move, but he just needs a little bit more patience, and he will get that position. I think he's just so quick at the moment, Philip Russell.
Yeah, Russell under pressure by Hay. He's definitely keeping that pace right there as he's attacking Deck. Hay got a little bit of gravel off the exit through Villeneuve, but Russell currently P2 in the AMs. Trying to chase down Christian Glamsetter, who's just having an absolute stormer of a day. Rickard Bauberg, after that insane up 12 spots to advance to the finale in heat number 1, it's not the best day for him right now. He's down there in 15th. He was involved in that big checkup at Villeneuve on lap 1.
Was indeed
Actually,
Gavin.
No. He was involved in that incident in Aqua Mineral on lap 1. That's what it was.
So many incidents we can't think. Talking of incidents, Gavin Petty's had one out on track, and he is towed back to the pit lane. This is Russell and Deck. Once again, we ride on board with Stefan Deck from the rear wing as we ride up towards the Tamburello chicane. And Russell, this is Russell's best chance. He has no opposition from Hay behind. What's he going to do? Is he going to pull to the inside, pull to the outside? It's certainly going to be one of those two. He's
going
in
the outside.
I'm going to go for the outside too.
Yeah, he can hold it around the outside of that first part. You pretty much have the exit man. He does hold it around the outside. He cuts across the nose right there, as that is Russell in the 10th, but Deck off the exit had the better exit. Now Russell defending onto the inside, heading to Villeneuve. It's pretty much a carbon copy of Tamburello, but it sets yourself up onto the inside of Toza as they go side by side, being very respectful of each other right there. And Russell able to hold it onto the inside. He got onto the AstroTurf right there, just leaving all the room for Stefan Deck in case Deck got a little bit wide. But that is some nice, clean racing between these two. Russell into 10th, and up ahead, Anderson had a big off track. I think that was at Alta.
I think it was. This is Christian Glamsetter racing side by side with Rasmussen. Rasmussen down the inside. Whoa. He takes that 8th place. Glamsetter just has to settle for 9th as we head through the Variante Alta as we head down towards Rivatsa 1. Will Glamsetter want to take that position back immediately? He is in the slipstream. Does he pull to the inside? No, he thinks better of it. Thinks about that exit of Rivatsa 2.
Glamsetter locked, I think he locked up the rear brake. That car rotated really fast heading into Alta. But now Glamsetter, the current AM leader, 1 spot away from Russell, but that is just position-wise. He's actually 6 seconds ahead of Russell, but he's in the fight for 8th place. Closing down Rasmussen right now. Looking down the inside, deciding that is probably not for the best interest right now.
He's cost himself a lot of time by doing that, though. He's cost himself a lot of time. You need to sort of minimize those, especially when you're in a battle that's this close. And if Rasmussen's just that little bit quicker, you can't afford to be losing a few tenths here and there by sticking it down the inside, sort of half-hearted attempts at an overtake. And Glamsetter needs to minimize that.
Attempting an overtake. He was just saying, "Could I look for it?"
No, yeah, I'm not. Would you be so kind to allow me to go through? And drivers don't tend to accept that. So yeah, Rasmussen. This isn't
old series ARCA where the guy in front of you just lent an engine to, and just like, hey, remember me? The reason why cars aren't is because of me. Actual story that happened.
I don't doubt your knowledge, Austin. You are very, very knowledgeable when it comes to all things racing. Glamsetter there, and I think we're just about to start the final lap of this race. Remstra is just coming out of Rivatsa 2, so yes, this will be a white flag, 1 lap to go, and Semstra's had an absolute dream of a final. Saw his main competitors involved in several accidents, and he has just streaked away the gap 1.5 seconds as they do start the final lap of the race.
Yeah, white flag in the air for Kevin Zwemstra, Matthias Martinson. Good day for Alcatek NHR. Now the two teammates, They're both on the NHR Uno.
Alistair Hay's in the pits. Something's happened to Hay.
Hay has gone into the pit lane. I think he might have picked up wing damage. He was in that fight with Deck, right? And Grishnabakken?
He was, yeah. So something's happened, I think between
make
Deck and Hay. Yeah,
I-
because Russell was a bit too far ahead, you'd have to say. Yeah, he stopped for about 5 seconds, so that does seem like a
He's picked up
fair.
5 seconds. That would be a stop fast pair, then get out. Oh, that is frustrating for Alistair Hay, pushing him down to 14th as this fight for 6th place. Thurman on the back of Joshu. Joshu staying ahead of Thurman, the Spaniard. Can he hold that 6th place heading through Ackerman around? That's a late dive by Thurman into the gearbox of Alexari. And now, well, he knows on how aggressive Thurman can be on the brakes, and we're going to be seeing a late dive heading into Riviata. Well, we're about to find out heading into Alta, using all the curves and then some, wiggling out off the exit. Right there is Alexari, and here comes Thurman and Rasmussen as well. Joshu, is he going to go defensive heading into Riviata? No, he is not. Here comes Thurman as Webstra takes the win with Martinson right behind. And Leto in 3rd place. And coming out of Riviata is Joshu and Thurman. And it's going to be Joshu and Thurman in 6th and 7th. Rasmussen comes home in 8th. Glamsitter comes home the winner of the AMS race right there, the Crips Racing Machine. Looking absolutely fantastic. Russell in 10th place, up 9 spots to get 10th after starting in the back row. In 19th, Alexander Scarrett, after a few big incidents here today, comes home in 13th. And Kevin Zwemstra, from a heart-pounding start, heart-pounding 3-wide action at the start as Leto burns rubber right there, you know, on the podium, you earned it. Kevin Zwemstra, I would say, had the least chaotic start out of everybody else. Comes up with the win. But it was still a chaotic finish, though, because he had to earn that one.
He certainly did. It was a chaotic start, middle, and end for pretty much everybody involved in that race. So many stories that we just didn't have chance to cover. I mean, Negret, I think, also had a little bit more issues after the first incident. Joshu as well.
12 spots.
Wow.
Biggest mover in the race.
Yeah, I mean, what happened? I mean, we saw what happened to our pole sitter, Schnabel, but what happened at the start? I mean, he was in a surefire.
There were 2 things. Schnabel's spin at the start with a very bad start, and then heading into Villeneuve. I think it was Larson. Got very loose through Villeneuve, got into the kitty litter, the gravel on the outside, rejoined the track, and that caused everybody to panic because they might have been collected right there. And it was like 5 wide cars just slamming on the brakes or something just odd. And that's when we just kind of caught our breath. And then everything else is just, I don't know what happened. And that brought out a few questions in our chat of, quote, what did I just witness with that start? We don't know. It's going to take a lot of replays, but here are your final results here. It's a Alcatech NHR 1-2 as Swemstra and Martinson take the win, followed by Alejandro, Leto, Aaron Smith, Hendrik Anderson, Joshua Agzari, Mike Thurman, Nicholas Rasmussen, Christian Glamsitter, Philip Russell, Sofon Deck, Matt Grishnabakken, Alexander Scarrett, Alistair Hay, Rickard Bobber, Kenny Larson, Justin Negret, and Samuel Hermer in 18th, followed by Leonard Schnabel. Unfortunate end to his race. But they did get out to get ahead of Gavin Petty, who finished this race in 20th after their incident. And I believe we have time to get a full replay of that start.
Yes, please. I really would like to work out what happened.
Half speed.
Still quarter speed, just to make sure we can all follow along.
1/16 time. Just... Okay, not actually 1/16 time. We need to finish on time. As well, yep, we go. Oh, you see that bad start right there, and everybody's trying to get out of the way. And that start, they got around the outside as There goes Schnabel. And we go back to our leader. Now, the leader would be... No, that would be Zwenstrud's the leader. The 146 behind him, that is Larson. Yeah, watch Larson right here through Villeneuve. Just gets wide, and yeah, that causes everybody to just check up right there. And I think that's what just really caused the start to just get absolutely chaotic.
What a race. What an absolute incredible race. I mean, I haven't commentated on many like that. I'm almost speechless after that. I mean, I will be speechless in about 2 hours when my voice finally goes, because that was... I had everything, didn't it, Austin? It had absolutely everything you could have asked for from a Formula 3 race.
It had action, it had drama, it had incidents. The only thing that it didn't have was a free bar that would visit us every 5 minutes.
Oh, can we add that for the next round, please? Because I'm certainly going to need
I
that.
think that would be expensive in the Apex Racing TV budget.
I think we need to make room for that, because that could have certainly helped.
Just a mini fridge right here.
We'll have to talk to management for that one.
Yeah. Well, commentators can dream.
We have a few people in the waiting room for some interviews. I think we have a little bit of time to do so. So let's take a pick. Take our pick. Who do we want to talk to first, Austin?
Well, funny thing, we don't have a race winner in there, but we do have his teammate. Let's bring in Matthias Martinsen. Matthias, how are you feeling after that race? It was P2 for you, but you started in the second row behind your teammate Lennart Schnabel. You want to walk us through that craziness of a start?
Yeah, it was quite scary, to be honest. Just like I had cars on the right, I think, ahead of me, and I just had to lift. I think I even might have braked behind him there. It was very intense there for a little while.
Yeah, you had the slow start of Lars Schnabel, and then heading into Villeneuve, you had to avoid Larson right there. Not only you broke, by the way, it was, I think, everybody around you. And when we were getting over that Schnabel was out of the race, we went back to that shot, and I think y'all were 5 wide heading into Toza at a snail space.
Yeah, I think it was. I think I overtook almost every one of them on the outside there. After I lost out of positions by before turn 2, I think it is, which is basically turn 1. But
well, now that after all that, it was kind of a calm day for you. It was an Alcatech NHR 1-2 here today. How's it feel to just be in a very good race where you and your teammate are ahead of the field and just relaxing with each other?
yeah, I wish I could relax, but I was making so many mistakes on this track. It's just I felt like I was gonna win or crash every corner. But it feels really good being 1-2 in Heat 1 feature race and winning Heat 2 as well as Alcantech.
It certainly is. As a team, you know, when you work with a team, when you're racing with a team, I have a question. When you get up there, does it ever come to your mind, are we going to race each other extremely hard, or are we just going to work together to, you know, just make sure we get to the end of this race? Because I saw you were doing a lot of teammate stuff in Heat number 1. If it came to that in the finale, were you going to start throwing a little bit defensive dives?
You never really know what's gonna happen, but we usually give each other a lot of respect on the track and off the track as well. And I think me and Kevin get along quite well, so I think we could have had quite a good battle, but still fair, or just I stay behind, because obviously he obviously had good pace to stay there. He deserves a win.
It was a great day for you and Kevin to take the win. Fortunately, Kevin's not going to be joining us, but before we let you go, anybody you want to thank?
You guys for this broadcast and all of my teammates.
I'm pretty sure they're going to be all happy for you here today. It's a 1-2, more silverware to add to the cabinet. Over to Sebastian, who is joined by another driver.
Let's have a chat to another second place driver, this time Philip Russell, who finished in second place in and let's bring him in. Philip, what a race from your side. You've been up and down the field quite a lot. We'll try this again. Philip, are you with us? I think Philip's lost his voice just as much as we have, Austin.
Philip, this is Austin Naboof. Do copy.
Think we're having some I think Philip's having some audio issues. That's a shame. We'd have loved to have spoken to Philip. Do you want to grab a very quick word with Aaron Smith then, as we're running out of time for this broadcast? The racing has been that intense.
Yeah, we ran out of time to interview Aaron Smith last round, but Aaron Smith had a good round here today. Aaron, well, it's a lot. You didn't have to go through 25 cars like you did last time to get to the finale. It was a lot calmer day for you here today, but you were in that giant scrambled egg at the start. You finished 4th today. How are you feeling after that?
It was a very mixed bag. I mean, all that I know is that at the start, Lennart just absolutely just botched the start and went into turn 1 like 4 wide and then just lost it at the exit. And then I just sneaked my way into P4 somehow and then kind of just stayed there. But what was incredibly annoying is just the fact that I felt like I could push more, but the track limits literally would not let me. I finished the race with 19 incident points. And
oh my gosh.
But the thing is like everyone else finished around that as well. Like we all just struggled so much. The track limits on this track are just awful. And we all just struggled so much, but yeah, we all did pretty well in the end, to be fair. Top 5, best finish in ARL, so I'm pretty happy with that one.
It definitely is something to be happy. Top 5 P4, up 4 spots from where you started. You were very competitive at the start with everybody else. You were right behind Larson at the start, coming through Villeneuve. Do you want to talk about that situation?
Yeah, that was incredibly scary. I just kind of had to squeeze my way through and hope that someone didn't turn in or that I wouldn't get netcoded. And it was all a complete mess. And then I had Hendrix behind me as well, just absolutely sending it on like 5 cars. So I was fairly stressed at the start, but it worked out in the end, so I'm happy.
Well, it certainly looked fantastic. Congrats on a great finish here today. Before we let you go, anybody you want to thank?
Mainly commentary, as always. You guys do a fantastic job. And yeah, my team as well, ProtoCharge, doing a great job with the setups. Car, obviously, this season, I'm not a fan of the new tire model, but we're making the best of what we have. And Jack as well, he unfortunately just missed out on the feature race today. It was really unlucky from him. But yeah, it was a pretty good day.
It seemed like the best day it could be. And we hope for a even better day next week. Congrats on a great race, Aaron. And do we have enough time, John? I'm getting the shake of the head note. So thank you, everybody, for joining us here on Apex Racing TV for the Apex Racing Academy VRS Formula 3 Super Series here at Imola. I've been joined by Sebastian Bosher-Williams and John Robertson in the production booth. We want to say a big thank you to everybody who tunes in every week for such fantastic racing, especially around here at Imola. This is definitely going to be one to rewatch over and over again. This was such a fantastic race. And oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Thank you everybody for joining in here. I've been joined by Sebastian Bosher-Williams, John Robertson in the production booth, and I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.